All right, welcome to the video here. We're just gonna go over a quick video, just kind of going over my strategy here with you guys. So what we're looking at here is just two Keltner bands that we're using. We're on the 10-second chart, and we're gonna attempt to take a trade here live, just on a sim account, just kind of show you guys how this works. So basically, we're looking for kind of a ABC type setup. That's kind of what we're going for here. So if you're unfamiliar with how that works, uh, you know, something like this. This is your A leg, your B leg, and your C leg type deal. So what I like to do is I like to use the WADA, which we got down here at the bottom. This is your MACD, has your MACD here, the orange line that you see going up and down. And obviously green is bullish volume, red is bearish volume. And then we have a dead man here, this little blue dotted line, if you can see it. So what we're waiting for is we're waiting for price to make an explosion up. So this would have been your A leg, this leg up. Your B leg is a lower volume pullback. So you can see how this volume here is lower than this volume. Ideally, you'd like it to be about half. And then you'd have a green volume come back in and kind of push it up and make a third leg. So that's kind of what we're looking for there. So we kind of missed that setup there right now. So as you can see now, we're kind of pulling back, retesting this band. And this band pretty much just gives you like market direction, right? If the market's shifting up or down, the band will either be, above the band, you're kind of bullish. Below the band, you're bearish, right? You could take entries. It's just kind of showing you like a shift in the market structure. So got a Ninzarenko chart over here. I like to use the Ninzarenko chart. I just like the way it looks. No real reason. You don't have to use that. But you can see we're getting kind of a shallow pushback up here, and we're just watching for the buy volume to come in. Now, if the buy volume does come back in and we kind of make a little leg up there, we'll take a little entry long. Now, this is not necessarily the setup that we would normally take, but we'll give it a try. And this is why. You see how we zoom in a little bit down here on the volume. You see how we got two little green bars pop up there, but they didn't really make it above the dead man. Now your sell volume's coming in. So what we'd like to see is kind of some sellers come in, push this back down, and then we'd retest this band and look for a push lower. Trying to do a trade here live while I got you guys, well, in real time, right? So let's see if we can get this to happen or not. Excuse me. Sorry, guys, I had to sneeze. Guess we need to make our connection here in order to even be able to take a trade on the sim if we find one. There we go. Now we're connected. So you can see this is pulling back. So this is going to be our A leg. All right. High volume, high sell volume. You can take the A leg. I don't. I don't normally take the A leg. And we don't take the B leg. So the B leg is going to be a low volume push back up. So we'd see some buyers come in here, maybe push this back up a bit, and then your sellers come on back in to push it back down. Now, a couple of things that we got going on here. It is, what time is it? 3:36 in the afternoon. So it's not the greatest time to be taking trades, in my opinion. But we're going to go ahead and do this just for, kind of the experiment here. We're right at the VWAP right now on the 3-minute chart. So I probably wouldn't normally be looking for a short in this area, right? So we got a little pushback up. We got the sellers coming in there. So I will take a short here just to kind of see what happens. And we want to see the sellers come in strong here and just push this down. What I typically do is look for 5 handles on my first contract, and then my second one is a runner. So you can see the sell volume kind of popping in here. We want to see that spike, get this thing right through that VWAP. It may not. Like I said, this is not a setup at the VWAP that we're in love with, but I think we can get it through here. So just looking for 5 handles. And as soon as we get to 5 handles, my second contract will trigger to break even. and it will trail the stop down. So once we take out the 5 handles here, you can see the trail went ahead and came down there. So let's see, takes our first target, and then we don't have a second target. It simply follows price down, and if it stops us out, that's fine. And that's kind of the idea of this setup here. So on that trade there, we just made a quick little $265. So, and that's just me trying to show you guys in real time. This is really could be considered your A leg anyway. This entire leg down could be considered your A leg, since we're kind of losing the VWAP there. So you would kind of be like, you know, A, maybe B comes back up and kind of retests that band, and then C down to the lower side. Very, very elementary. There's no need to overcomplicate this, right? So what we'd like to see is a push back up on some green volume. Push back up on some green volume here that kind of stays in this middle area. We don't really want it to push up, you know, super strong, right? So we'd like it to stay kind of in that area, kind of below this area once the green volume comes back in. And then once the sell comes back in over this dead man here, then we would we take the short again. So this is the idea of the strategy. Very, very simple, guys. Like I said, we're not going to overcomplicate things here. I like to keep it simple. This strategy, as simple as it is, it works. And when you see me take losers, it's because I'm deviating from this strategy. If I only took these trades, we would have a lot more winners, and that's what I'm kind of trying to work on here. So you can draw this out and kind of get your idea. You can see the buy volume coming in here. Again, guys, the time of day, we're at 3:40 p.m. right now. It's not the greatest time to be working or trying to show you guys how this works, but I just kind of want to show it to you live, right? Like I said, you can use regular candles here. You don't have to have the Ninjarinko. So all we're doing is we're waiting for that sell. We want a little bit more push back up. That's what these bands are here for, to give us an idea how high it could go. But if the sell volume comes in here, then we're going to go ahead and enter short. So you can see the volume come in there. We enter short. We're waiting for it to hit our target on the first contract, and it should move to break even. We are at the whole number here as well, so we could get a pop back up, but I'm just now noticing that. So this trade might not work out. Okay, there we go. We hit our target. Now it's trailing down. We're up $230 on that trade right there. So it's really that simple, guys. It's really that simple. It's not rocket science. I'm not doing anything spectacular. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I've struggled to be profitable. Since I've switched to this, it's just like a light bulb. A light bulb has went off. Now, this is very scalpy. It's not, you know, we're not holding these trades for long. We're not looking for huge moves, right? I'm looking for 5 handles on my first contract. Maybe we get 10 on the second, but if we get stopped out for break even, we're completely okay with that. So to kind of give you guys a breakdown as to what this is, you don't even have to have these Keltner bands on here to do it. I like these as kind of a frame of reference because it kind of gives you an idea of shift in market structure, right? If the back band, the band on the back side comes out of this black band here, then we're kind of in a bearish market. We're kind of in a bearish market structure, short term, right? Very, very short term. If we retest this band on low volume, then we would re-enter short here. But since the volume is above the dead man and is higher than the previous sell volume, this is not a short that I would enter. This would keep me out of that short, right? That doesn't mean it can't sell back off, right? But this would keep me out of that short. It could potentially sell back off, but because of this volume, I would not take it. So this is just a quick, easy video just to show you guys what we're doing here. And again, I'm on the 10-second chart on the trading view here. And that's what I use. And this is kind of, I don't have all this stuff activated, but this is what we're using, the Keltner channels. This is the setup if you guys are interested in it. So we got 2 channels. These are the inputs that I'm using. The other stuff kind of stays the same. The backgrounds, I do change the backgrounds, but the visibility and all that's the same. That's just default stuff. That's your first channel. Then your second channel would be set up like this. You guys could pause it if you're interested in putting the Keltner channels on there. These are the settings. And but the main thing is going to be the WADA, right? WADDA. It's the WADA that we have here. Let me see. I don't know if it will let me show you guys. Yeah. So this is just called the WADA, and I leave it completely default. WADDA. This is the important part. So you don't even have to have the Keltner channels on here. You can just simply trade price action, right? I mean, you can look at these candles, these Ninzarenko candles the same way. You can say, okay, this is your A leg. We're pushing back up, and now we're looking for a C leg down, right? I like to use the 10-second chart because you can capture smaller moves, more moves. Now, if you want to capture bigger moves, you just simply use a bigger time frame. That's all you got to do. So if you wanted to capture a bigger move, you can look at this here, and it's pretty clear. You know, this is your A leg down, your B leg back up, and then you would make a C leg down, right? And this would be kind of a larger move. So there's nothing special about this. Very, very simple, straightforward. It's kind of like a pullback entry, right? You make a shift down, pulls back, and you enter short. Simple as that. You're pairing it with the WADA, with the volume indicator, and the dead man. The MACD you really can use, you know, obviously if it's kind of above the dead man, it's bullish. Below the dead man, it's bearish, that sort of thing. But I don't really even use that MACD all that much. I really am just looking at the volume profile here on the WADA. So if you guys have any questions or comments about this strategy, leave them down below. You know, all I can tell you is if you guys have followed me, you know that I've been struggling to really be profitable consistently. I've been using this strategy for about 3 weeks now since I've swapped to this strategy and I kind of understand what I'm looking for. It's been a game changer. So now obviously location also matters. You don't want to be taking a setup if you're trading into resistance, you know, like I took that short a minute ago down into the whole number, right? You wouldn't want to be taking this short into the whole number. And obviously, if there was a VWAP here or some sort of previous resistance, you wouldn't want to be taking the entries there. You want to still make it make sense, right? So now your sell volume's kind of pumping in here. If it gets above the dead man and prints a second candle above it, see, I would take this short entry here. We would take a short entry here. We'll try it. May as well while we're live here, if you will. And let's see what happens. See if we can get to our first target. Now, you can move your stop down anytime you want. I just let it do its thing. Since I'm only looking for 5 points, it's not, you know, a huge deal there. So we're at break even now on the first contract. We can't lose. Now the second contract's going to trail us down as long as it can. And stopped out. But once again, in profit, another $200 almost right there. So nice and easy, guys. 3 straight trades, just straightforward, just letting the WADA and the price action do the work for us. So that's going to wrap it up. I am trying to get to 200 subscribers, so if you're watching this video and you're not yet subscribed, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the channel. But other than that, you guys enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you live on Monday.